Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. Man, I saw that camera cut, and I thought we were back to us. I'm your host, Christian.
Trolling, man.
Yeah, he got me. He got me. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you. Again, quick reminder, we are bringing Quinn back for Thursday, so use the hashtag mailbag to ask us your questions at WGLNA. He's going to present those questions to us, and we'll answer them here live on the show Thursday for the playoffs. So make sure you guys do that and be there for Thursday. It's just going to be a sweet time. What I just want to say before we get into this next match is the enjoyment of what we just saw. I mean, just kind of like waiting back, no camping, no, just like,
It's
hey,
a different aspect of the game, and we don't get to see that often. Let's go ahead and get to the question of the day.
Oh yeah, that's what we do, right? Question of the day.
So, which 4 players are getting your Pro Bowl votes?
For me, it is Meadowhawk, Ox Thief, Jay Smooth, and Brett are my 4 Pro Bowl picks.
See, so I was actually trolling before when I said I picked Meadowhawk 4 times. What actually happened is I picked Meadowhawk and 3 other people, and then Meadowhawk went 1v3, set them all on fire, so he's the only one left.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Again, his incendiary rounds are just too strong. Ladies and gentlemen, now getting ready to go into our next battle. It is going to be Ding versus 07. On the side of 07, we have Meadowhawk. On the side of Ding, we have Ali. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off, and Meadowhawk, going to go ahead and start off with you, sir. Now, Benashin, just the theme of the night. This is a lot of the team's last time. It's actually every team's last match for the regular season. So as 07, looking back, Meadowhawk, what is just the biggest highlight for your team for this season?
I'd probably have to say taking the top 4 teams, like really challenging them. It was really nice to challenge Noble. Also really nice to challenge High Voltage. And then I think we have Eclipse and Simp in there too. So just kind of proving that we can play with the big boys.
Yeah, that's definitely got to feel good as a team, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And if you guys keep improving at this rate, it's going to be a whole different ballgame when you get into the next season. Or maybe even the playoffs. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Meadowhawk, it's going to be hard for your team, but who are the unsung heroes of 07?
Unsung heroes. I'd probably have to say Makos and Warbander. You know, everyone likes to choose Vetro and Commodore and Synergy. They're usually our top points guys. But every now and again, Makos and Warbander will really throw up a good performance that will help the team out. And no one really notices it because, you know, the next game they might not do as much damage, but they're holding a flank. But when they need to, they can put the points up.
Well, it is a team game. Everybody matters, right?
That's right. That's right. Meadowhawk, thank you so much. Ali, now over to you, sir. First of all, welcome to the face-off. It's so good to see a new face over there for DingNA. My question is going to be to you. It's the same thing as to 07. Looking back to the season, what has been DingNA's just best highlight for you guys as a team?
We've had some good wins, but we've definitely had some pretty dank memes. So I think our memeage has been really on point. Our swag, it's been up to here. At the start, it was down here, but we got some dank memes. So I think that the players are really going to appreciate that.
All right, the dank meme highlights.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Like
yeah.
even the
Community
face-off
loves
is
that.
like one long endo meme. It's great. All right, Ali. Who are some of the unsung heroes on your team?
I think that I'm a really underrated player. You know, I definitely think I'm the best player in the entire game. I do so much damage. I'm faster. I'm smarter than everyone.
Wow.
I pull out the most dank memes. You guys can agree with that. I have the most dank memes. So I think Ollie the person, dude, put him on your fantasy team, put him on your roster, add him on Facebook if you want. Ollie the person, dude, 100%.
Well, he certainly doesn't let his memes be dreams.
Oh, no, David. No, he does not. Ali, thank you so much for that. Gentlemen, before we get into the battle, Meadowhawk, is there anything you'd like to say to Ali before we get started?
I just wanted to say that, I mean, not everybody knows it. I know you guys probably don't, but, you know, I'm a fine connoisseur of bowls. You know, I got all these little mise en place bowls. I got a nice, ice cream bowl here. I got a plastic and a silver mixing bowl. I got a soup bowl.
Yeah.
I got a nice wooden bamboo salad bowl. And we got a family style pasta bowl here. But I can't seem to find Pro Bowls. So, if everyone could go ahead and vote, head over to the site, pick me and 3 other players, and we'll show you what you're made of. I mean, it's not fair because I'll just set everyone on fire. But you know, we'll see.
I picked you. He didn't though.
I picked you. Oh my
No,
gosh,
he didn't.
he saw me pick
He's
you.
lying. I saw it.
I picked you.
When the results come in, I'll talk to Trevzor and see who's telling the truth here.
You do that. You do that, Meadowhawk.
One of you is my battle buddy for life, and we'll figure this out.
All right, I like it. Ali, your response to that?
I got to give you credit. I think your memes are pretty dank. I think you're pretty swag. But I think our swag is a little bit higher. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right.
Straighten that salute, soldier.
Gentlemen, best of luck to both of you, and we'll see you shortly in the battle.
What was in his shirt?
A hand. It was a hand.
No, because I saw his other hand.
No, it was
show
like
up
it was like a fake hand.
Man, too meta for me.
I don't know what just happened.
I thought I understood what it was, and then his left hand showed up in picture, and I was like, wait.
No, it was like a fake hand.
Everything
it was
that
just
I
this
know is a
fake hand
lie.
just sitting there.
Alrighty, you
Wow.
saw the rosters. We've been over them at least 8 times this season already.
Yep.
Well, no, at least 11 if you think about it.
Yeah.
So you should know who you're looking at by
Here's the
now.
11.
07 has played the most on Himmelsdorf. They've used the T22 the most, and Vetro is pretty much consummately their all-time scorer forever, no matter whether he's on the team or not.
Losing her.
Ding has played Steps the most. They used the 140 the most, and Papa Dijon reclaiming
He's getting back up there.
reclaiming his reign.
He gave it up for a second, but now he definitely wants it back. So one thing I just want to also say to you guys, the reason you should vote for Meadowhawk to get in there is because of things like that. Like every single face-off he does, there's just something amazing and magical about it.
I think we need Ali back more.
Okay. And then second part, can we put Ali just in? Can we just have him here for the finals? Because that was also amazing. I feel like everything he said was contradictory, but I loved it. I loved every single second of it.
No regrets.
First of all, the first question was what was biggest highlight, and he just said how dank his memes were and how awesome that he was as a player, and then how amazing it was. And then the question from you, which was who's the most underrated, and he goes, well, I'm the best. I'm amazing and awesome. So it's such a great. I can imagine that guy on a team just being awesome and super fun to play with. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting ready to go into our first battle of the night. Actually, of this match, and it's going to be onto Mines. So 07, let's see if they can do what they did on Thursday, or if Ding will have a response for them. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
07 with an E5, a bat chat, a 907, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU-251. Ding with 2 113s, an IS-7, a T22, 2 TVPs, and an RU-251.
So now, before we kind of get into this battle, guys, I just want to suggest to you in chat, let us know how awesome it would be to have both Ali and Meadowhawk as guest casters sometime on this show, because I feel like that.
Oh man,
I feel like that would just be amazing. Let's just get them both in here. Let us know in chat if you guys want that. As we now get ready to go into this battle.
Danger zone. Danger zone. I was really hoping that those were like little breadsticks hanging out of his shirt. I don't know why.
That's way better.
All right, here we go. TVPs both lined up and loaded, trying to get an early pick. 1 shot into Smooth Molasses, 2 shots into Rocks, 3, and he will make it up top.
Master Putin taking 16-30 though in that 50-51. Smooth Molasses coming back to make sure he can finish him off here. 1 shot away. He's looking for it. 1 shot from the back jet. Oh, just going into the ground. He's going to make sure he doesn't get it, but Vetro picks it up from the back. And 07 find the first tank destruction of this battle here. Not even a minute has gone by. Already so much action picking up here on Mines. Again, this is why I love Mines. And this is why you guys should love it too. So the battle for the hill, WGLNA have done a good amount of damage. I mean, being a tank down, but only being about 400 points in HP now. Now tying it up is Fosta, taking a lot there. That RU-251, dropping him down to 163 points. He probably will be going down here. Papa Dijon looks like he has the shot. There it is, the T22 taking down Fosta. And now 1-for-1 exchange, but an RU-251 for a 50-51. I'm sure a little more in 07's favor than not. Scooper now taking some damage from the hill. Rocks, though, as he pops out, takes some. David, what is the balance here? When you're on top of the hill, you know, popping out to take the shots on those guys, how much do you risk?
Very likely he saw Darth Vader fire, or his gun wasn't pointed at him, so he knew he'd take 1 from Scooper at most in exchange for his clip. So a good trade from Rocks right there, and that is the best way to account for the balance, how much you're going to give for how much you're going to take. Vetro picks up the kill, and that turns out to be a great play by Rocks, where a lot of people would probably be scared to do something like that.
Well done. Again, the idea of taking damage on your tank, you know, risking that to get picks. So well done, Rocks, to that right now in 07. What we've got for WGLNA is Papa Dijon being sent around in that T22 to start a flank here. Let's see if that's going to be what DNA needs to seal out 07 right now and start coming back. They are down in HP and in tanks. They need to do something. Papa Dijon still unspotted here. Makos might be in some trouble if Papa Dijon goes in, because Vetro has now abandoned him up on top of the hill and has gone for Velox. As you guys can see over in the lighthouse, Vetro and Velox are going head-to-head right now. Now, there it is. Papa Dijon getting spotted out, taking a shot onto Makos. Makos now knows he's hurt, and look, he's just going to get off there, play it safe, not try to go head-to-head against this T22. He's still focused on top of the hill right now. Meanwhile, over on the lighthouse, still that damage going through. Vetro taking a shot into Velox. A 304 going to him. Warbander has to be careful. Rox takes down Game is Rigged, but Flashton finds Warbander. Vetro quickly finishes off Velox in the R251, and now is going to make his way back to help out on top of the hill. Papa Dijon pushing against Makos in that T22. Makos' shot bouncing off of Papa Dijon. Papa's not bouncing off of Makos. He finds the kill. Synergy 3K, though, picks up a tank of his own, and now just 2 remain for Ding. 4 for 07 here on our first battle of our second match of the night. And I keep wanting to say first match because that first match went so quickly. Darth Vader now taking a shot from Rox, who has 3 more, now 2 more shots in that autoloader. 1 going to Papa Dijon, the final one, and it should be enough. No, right into the side of the hill. Not enough to finish him off here, but it's not going to matter. Synergy 3K has his shot up. It is loaded. It goes right into Papa Dijon, and that is going to be 07 picking up their first victory of the second match of the night. On to Mines. One thing just to start out, a great battle from them, taking the hill aggressively, doing a lot more damage there, picking up Master Putin just like that before really he has any chance to take a shot off at all. But not as right off the bat, in my mind, as controlling as it was against on Thursday, where they just dominated the entire map, pulling out some crazy plays. So, but still, fantastic. Having again 4 tanks up at the end of the battle, not a bad win at all.
Doing exactly what they did the last time they played against Ding. In the very first battle,
not smart.
It's probably not smart. They may break it out in their second offense, something like that. But they don't want to let a team like Ding, who can disassemble strats. They've got some experienced callers on there. And they've got Putin, they got Game is Rigged, they got Scoopra. All 3 guys, they're going to pick it apart at some point and be ready for it. So instead, they're practicing some of their middle brawl stuff. And they handled it pretty well. Let's go into the stats really quickly. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Darth Vader for Ding, 2.2 thousand damage. Game is rigged with about 1,800, about 1,700 out of Flashland, 1,700 out of Papa Dijon, and everybody else falling below 1,000. 407, almost 4,000 out of Synergy 3K.
My gosh.
3.3 out of Vetro, almost 2,000, or sorry, 3.3 out of Rox, almost 2,000 out of Vetro. Warbander with about 1.6, 1.2 out of Makos. Take that, reverse it. I can't read numbers today. Makos was 1,600 and 1,200
it's fine.
out of
Hopefully
Warbander. What I was saying is, so there are a couple just weird things that happened. Synergy 3K driving across a target between multiple autoloaders, but he did get in behind him, prevent from backing up, which kept him in a kill zone. So perhaps the right instinct, but poorly communicated. I don't know. Both the TVP and the Bat Chat starting to flex up to the north side of the hill as a response to the T22. The T22 is there for that, to make them turn around. So they started transitioning north, and either they realized it or somebody called them back middle, and they actually perfectly intercepted the tanks that were coming up at that point. So some initial movements that weren't perhaps the perfection that they were last time, but they were reined back in control, and they won the brawls, and they made positive trades.
All right, 07 picking up that first victory, getting right back into Mine, switching sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
07 with an E5, a Bat Shot, a 907, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU-251, which is different from their last defensive strategy. Ding with an IS-4, an E5, a Bat Shot, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an M40, M43. Probably bringing that in case the E3 was where it was last time. But this time around, 07's not going to show him the same look. And I got to clarify. I mean, I'd start nitpicking little things like who went where for 2 seconds.
Sure.
That's a good thing.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah, when that's all that you have to pick apart.
Right, because otherwise, I mean, and it's true. It's true. Slight either miscommunications or wrong instincts to right off the bat, but the hallmark of a good team is what you don't expect them to play perfectly the whole time. It's how they adjust after things start going wrong. And there was a lot of different things that show, even though the initial movements may not have been perfect in some of those instances, they're able to control themselves and control their initial responses and what they want to do and bring it back in line.
Right.
And that is a very, very, very difficult thing to get under control.
I mean, part of the game, right, is the planning of strategy and working on communication, but also part of the game is being able to adapt to what the other team is doing.
Absolutely, and playing to your opponent. There's, I mean, so many variables at play here. And these guys are the ones that have to balance out all of it. And all we do is just sit here and look. and try to figure out all the
What's
different things that
going
they're
on in their
playing with.
heads.
And of course, they're it's hard for us to really know exactly all the time. And Manny, I have a lot of experience in this, but I definitely do not even come close to knowing exactly their intent. I'd probably say even 70% of the time, because there are always things that are secrets, or perhaps they're offering up a tank on purpose. And it's tricky. It's tricky to see. You got to be in the meta. You got to be practicing a lot to know these kinds of things. Maybe it's one player in practices always does one thing, so they plan around that. And I'm definitely not going to know that. They're not going to pass that kind of information on, because then I'll share it on here.
and that'll be the end of the
that's
team.
it. They lose that advantage.
That'll be
right?
the end of the team.
I didn't tell the commentators everything that I knew when I was playing.
Sure.
That would have been a terrible idea.
That would have been foolish. So you guys hear that? If you're getting into pro plays, only trust the commentators as far as you can throw them. And I'm pretty light, so you can trust me a lot.
I do give them the confidentiality stuff we've talked about
you
in the past.
Absolutely.
But why risk that with big things?
Yep.
With small things, sure, they'll tell me a lot of that, little details about camo ratings and things along those lines. But
yeah,
when it comes
nothing
to big
that's
things, only after
strategy
the game is done.
game breaking, right? Absolutely.
Only after the game is done will you share that kind of stuff.
And in the next season, even if the format changes drastically, it really kind of loses its magic. Right now, Rox, as we've been talking, have taken a couple shots, dropping him to barely above HP, half HP, and they've all been blind fire. So WGLNA either just doing that as a common place.
It's a very, very common position that 07 has been using. And it'll probably be on this right side of the rock from this perspective. So you poke around here, and basically what you're doing is you settle up in this bush, and you look directly at the hill, and there's a small angle. You can see Putin there now. Small angle, you can get a track, you can do some damage on people that go up, and it can be very, very, very dangerous. But it is a two-way street here as a team that have practiced at blind fire. You can see how Papa Dijon has somewhat of an angle that can come in here by the rock as well. So unless you're tucked exactly how Rox is right now, it can be dangerous, but you need to take a certain amount of risk.
Ooh, Fosta getting lit up right now. He goes down very quickly to Game is Rigged, but Game is Rigged taking a lot of damage himself. One more shot, and he'll be going down too. He is still spotted here, and he is just standing behind that rock, hugging as close as he possibly can to it for dear life there. And I can only imagine Fosta went up there for a spot because they thought they could take down that 50-51. Maybe just caught out, didn't expect to see those two tanks here. The M40, M43 might have gotten a shot on him. Not sure there if Veloxa contributed that at all. We can maybe see after on the stats. But a scout down for 07, but half the battle gone for WGLNA. And their 50-51 is one more shot away from going down. So WGLNA having to do something. Vetro taking a shot, looks like from Veloxa in that artillery.
Oh, wow. Yeah, seeing Vetro got splashed by that, and he lost 2 crew members in one single shot. Take a look. See, Vetro is not running a med kit, which is, it's a hard decision whether to go to fire or med kit in place, because you have to squeeze the rations in there. You have to if you want to be playing at this kind of level. So, at least that's my opinion. Everybody has different opinions on it. So it's a very tricky situation for him to be in. However, they do have the jack of all trades skill, which allows their commander to also act as a second crew member in the event that somebody gets injured.
Okay.
So you don't fall down to it. If you don't have jack of all trades and you lose a driver, it's almost useless. You can barely drive. If you lose a gunner, you can barely aim.
Gotcha.
But with jack of all trades, it's not as bad.
Smooth Molasses looks like he took 710. Looks like a shot, another shot from Veloxa there. What that was. I'm very excited to see what Veloxa's damage dealt for this match is going to be. Papa Dijon, Scooper, Master Putin here going for a push down to the south against 07. Scooper taking a little bit of damage there in that T-22, going now kind of head-to-head against Smooth Molasses. Master Putin turning on to Warbander, and he's going to start taking those shots from that back chat. 343 going into him in the E5, 747, and Warbander shot onto Putin actually missing. It's going to allow Putin maybe even to take him, no, not to take him down, but he's going to do a lot of damage. Papa Dijon, though, is now there as well. He takes a shot, 284 going to E5, and Putin's starting to back off here, but 07 have taken a lot of damage. Veloxa takes down Smooth Molasses from that artillery, and that is now 2 tanks falling. WGLNA now has 2 minutes and 15 seconds to either cap or take down every member right now of 07. Rox coming around, takes down Scupra in that T-22. 07 doing their best to fight back. They're going to start pushing on top of the hill with Synergy 3K and Makos. Rox, Vetro, Warbander all lower. Vetro still pretty healthy there. 304, they're going to Synergy 3K. They're coming up upon Flash on that IS-4, and that is going to be our focus right now. 593 going to him. Synergy 3K just dodging that shot from Darth Vader up on top of the hill. 927. 368, a couple more shots. He'll be going down between Makos and Synergy. No! Darth Vader takes down Synergy with the help of Veloxa again. Fantastic on-point shots from the artillery right now. There it goes. Makos does finish off Flashland. Darth Vader might be able to no, actually, Makos, no, I don't know. Who's it going to be? The reload is going to be so close. No, Master Putin is not even going to make it a battle. Comes in to save Darth Vader, possibly from certain doom. Papa John takes down Warbander. It is just going to be Vetro and Rocks up. They have 1 minute and 18 seconds to survive. And every member of WGLNA now knows where they are. They're collapsing down upon their position. Rocks has 2 more shots up. Game is rigged. Takes Rocks down. And that is just going to be Vetro up to survive for over 60 seconds. Putin has almost a full clip. 4 shots there in that bat chat. There goes 1. There goes 2. Here comes 3. And the 4th and final one should be able to finish off Vetro here. From that bat chat, Ding is going to pick up their first victory here of the night, tying it up 1-1 against 07. On to mines. Veloxa in the artillery. I'm pretty sure landing most of his shots there, and if not most of them, some very critical ones to whittle down 07. I'm excited to see what the stats say. Can we go there?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's go there.
Oof, Veloxa. 9 shots out, 2 hits, 2 pens, 3 splash overall for 26-52. Very important shots. I've never necessarily had a problem with Mines artillery on offense. There are risks, but it does a great job at breaking a lot of things, and it worked this time around. 2,600 for Putin, 2,000 for Papa D, 2,000 for Darth Vader, 1,700 for Flash, and about 1,500 for Game is Rigged. Meanwhile, for 07, about 2,900 for Vetro, even though he had all that damage. 2,500 for Rocks, 2,000 for Makos, 1,500 for Warbander.
So it's so amazing to see like the artillery, like, oh man, he must have been hitting tons of those shots. He's leading his team in damage. I mean, only 2, but those 2 and the splashes. So 4.
Right. And he's shooting at mediums, which is the biggest thing here. You see the shots that take place on steps, for example. It's a pretty well-known artillery map, right? And it's not always bad to have an artillery on steps. It's a limiting factor, like I've talked about a lot. But you're going to be firing at E5s and whatnot most of the time. You're trying to patrol that ridge, right? Because trying to hit a medium from that distance,
free shots.
It's going to be a 2, 3, almost 3.5 second flight time, depending on the artillery.
They could be gone.
They could be anywhere in 2 seconds, especially in a medium, right? But an E5 is probably going to be in one spot. So that's what they're trying to hit.
That makes sense.
They do a lot less, which is why I get more critical about them in those instances. When it's firing mostly against mediums or positions where there's not a lot of room to move around, like where the TVP was that got lit up, or where Vetro was, that K4-5 area, 5-6 I think, is a beautiful place to just drop in shots.
Yeah.
And Veloxa just capitalized on that.
Well done to Velox right there, and well done to Ding to picking up their victory now, tying it up against 07. We're switching sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
You got to have an artillery that hits, though.
That's
I mean,
true.
Oxmath has really made it work.
Oh my
and
gosh.
other people didn't last season, right?
That's so true.
07 with an E5, a batch chat, a 907, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU-251. Ding with an IS-7, a batch chat, 2 T22s, a TVP, an E3, and an M40, M43.
Wow, so now they're on defense, bringing it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
It's going to depend a lot on the initial movements. It will probably post up in about K0 with Scooper's E3 blocking. So pretty standard defensive pattern, except, you know, we've seen 07 do this. In fact, we saw him just do this, and they left their RU-251 kind of in the southeast.
Oh.
Except it's going to be an artillery.
Okay.
So
we'll see. All right. I can
really
see how
depends on who hits what, but Fossa getting absolutely lit up here in the beginning, not taking as much damage as he should have, so shots going out at him. And he's going to actually get away with this.
And Master Poon, on the other hand, took a lot of the shots that Fossa probably should have as he was on the run. I think in that bush, that a lot of, even you see in kind of public matches, a lot of scouts will go to that bush. It's a great one right in the center.
07 set that trap twice now on air, getting a deep scout, and everybody up on hill can fire down on it. So great movement there, and it keeps working out for him. Why not? I mean, they lost hit points off of nobody besides Fosta and brought home well over 1,000, I think.
Onto a bat chat.
Onto a bat chat and Papa Dijon. And now another shot in a flashlight.
Wow, Warbander, though, taking 9-11 there in that E5 on top of the hill. I would be careful. Starting to back up. I'm guessing that was from Veloxa. Wow, no, that was from a
And
Veloxa. 882.
Warbandor gets balanced
Woo!
by the M40, M43. One really big shot there for about 880.
Did it land right on him?
Had to have.
Oh my gosh.
Had to have.
Nice shot from
If that
Veloxa.
splashed him, I don't think it would do 800. I mean, we've seen that 100 times, right? I think it landed probably either right on top of the hull. I don't know if he was turned around. It could have been an engine deck, although that probably would have been more, and possibly a fire. And we have it. We can check his crew right now. So he does have a med kit, so he didn't take any crew damage.
Hey,
And he
medicine.
didn't take any module damage because he didn't use the repair kit. So while he did take a lot of damage, that's
Didn't hurt
about as well as an artillery shot goes. Mako's also getting shot, though. It's T-22 dropping down, and he might go down.
530 going at him. One more shot. He'll be going down. 07 trying to do that same cap over on the east as they did on Thursday. Let's see if it works out or if WGLNA knows a response for it. Vetro taking 670 there. In that object now, 7. Fosta is still hidden, but as you can see on your map right now, a lot of members from Ding moving into that location. Game is rigged, though, dropping to 5 HP in that 50-51. Veloxa finishing off Warbandor there in that E5, and so those med kits and repair kits not even going to matter anymore as his tank is now completely out of the fight, and the rest of WGLNA starting to push in here. Leading the charge is Master Putin from Ding, and the rest of 07 now starting to collapse down upon him. 30 seconds on the clock. They have plenty of time. Rock's taking down Scupra, but now they're going to find Fosta, and the moment he is, those resets are going to go through, as well as a lot of damage and a tank kill. Papadajan finishing off that RE-251. Rocks, though, takes down Game is rigged, and Darth Vader will possibly be dropping his Vetro. Will have a shot up. There it is. The 907 takes down the T-22, and the rest of 07 now coming in behind WGLNA to collapse down upon him. Vetro finds Flash, and Papadajan, though, finding another kill, takes out Vetro. And now Smooth Molasses on the reload, and that batch hat has halfway to go. Looks like he might have some damage done to him as it is taking a long time for him to reload there. Over 1,000 points of damage going to Synergy 3K. 3 tanks inside of WGLNA, 3 tanks on the side of 07. 07, though, is up HP-wise. Papadajan bouncing a nice shot there. Smooth Molasses, though, has his clip up. He's got, 5 shots there, but it's not going to matter. Synergy 3K takes down Master Putin. Papadajan falls, leaving just Veloxa left in that artillery, and 07 has over 4 minutes to find him, and they know where he's at, and take him down. So this looks like 07 is going to pick up a second victory here of our second match of the night.
Synergy 3K on the hunt. One of the better plays here is just a proxy on the other side of the building.
Yeah,
And let somebody else
don't
get
get
the kill.
TD'd.
Yeah, but he is going to get lucky, and Smooth Molasses will take that shot for him. Veloxa got in a lot of damage there, but
But
I feel like the positional sacrifices may not have been worth it. It's a hard one because Vetro played out of his mind from almost one shot for the whole game.
Sure.
I mean, absolutely fantastic positional play there.
Can you bank on it?
But could a scout could
player
have done
always
it more?
doing that?
I don't know. This is one I'm genuinely 50-50 on.
Okay.
It could have been a good use of it. Veloxa's firing out of his mind, and if anybody hits
He's
as
killing
often
it.
as Veloxa is,
Bring him.
I'm not going to openly criticize any strategy where somebody has. Just put him in a tank. You know, it's like for high voltage, it's like, well, what should we do? I don't know. Anything where you can put wall hacks in a 1390, right?
Do it.
It's that.
Do
Anything where you put Veloxa in a
Artillery.
M40. Let's go
he's
to
gonna kill
them stats.
Let's head over there.
07, Synergy 3K with 3,900. Rocks with 2,700. Smooth Molasses with 2,500. Vetro is only 1,500. But every single shot he made there and under that cap pressure was critical. He didn't die in the process. He helped take out an E3. He survived. It's just crazy.
Well
go back
done,
and
Vetro.
go back and watch that later tonight, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Great play from him, and everybody else just not panicking and doing what they're supposed to. Now let's get to what everybody's really looking for. Veloxa, no big deal. 5 shots, 3 hits with 3 pens and 1 splash. That's crazy accurate. 2,800, 2,200 out of Papa D,
Artillery.
2,000 out of Flashland, 1,500 out of Scupra.
So now I want to see an entire team of artilleries all driven by Veloxa. That's what I want against an entire team of low prime.
Yes, he was hitting everything.
Yeah.
And yes, that creates a lot of opportunities. But if you hit something like a TVP, it's just going to back off and wait until it jumps into the fight to dump its clip anyways, right? Which is probably what it's going to do anyways. It doesn't have this much brawl potential, but you didn't kill a tank, and it still has that window when it can show up. Then you have the idea of, okay, one of our full health tanks just got dapped by the M40 for 800, which means he's out of the fight. 800, and you no longer have to worry about him, which opens up so many
that's
strategic
true.
options.
That's
so
true.
Again, I can't rule on this one,
All
not
right.
without a lot of study, but it's close on both sides.
All right, guys, let us know in chat what you think as we go into our next battle. Let's see if DingNA can tie it up 2-2 against 07 here on Mines, or will 07 be able to make it 3-1? Let's take a look at what we've got for takes.
07 with an E5, a bat shot, a 907, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU251. Ding with 2 E5s, a bat shot, 2 T22s, a TVP, and the M40, M43 again. See if it works for him on offense as well as it did last time. I would expect 07 to make some major changes to try and prevent that. See, it looks like their opening moves are to go mid with Fosta wrapping around the outside to try and compensate. Otherwise, everything else is going to stay relatively the same. And Smooth Molasses now somewhat in the open, but quickly finds cover from everything, including the artillery, or not.
Oh.
Where he's stopping right now is definitely dangerous. And if Aloxa puts out a shot with relative accuracy, he is still lit, Smooth Molasses. And that's going to be a
Master
dangerous
Putin,
territory.
game is
700.
rigged. Oh.
And there he goes down with no oh, well, the artillery fire just, chimed in there at the end because he didn't want to be left out. Great firing from DingNA to get that early pick. And Smooth Molasses probably should have posted up at that first rocket J3 and just hung out until they got more intel and could make a good decision. Fosta getting extra aggressive, trying to slip in and find that artillery. They have boiled it down to probably A1. And now 07 is going to try and close in and constrict around these positions for Ding.
Magos now being spotted out on top of the hill as well as Vetro. Take a little bit of damage there on T22. Not much, but they are a bat chat already down. DingNA only losing a little bit of HP on Master Putin driving their bat chat. So DingNA looking good so far at the beginning of this battle to tie it up against 07. Let's see if they can continue and seal out the fate. Now Warf 07 can come back, making it 3-1 here. Game is rigged, being lit up. And being lit up because of that. Papa Dijon now starting to move over, taking 995 in that T22, and he's still let Vetro having free shots from as well as 2 other members on top of the hill. He's got to be careful or he will be going down. Synergy 3K takes him down. Dave, was he just stuck there? Was that a track the entire time? Because he wasn't moving at all.
Couldn't see it from my angle, but my guess is yes. But Fosta goes down, a game is rigged after repeated very sketchy pokes trying to make the opposite happen. Game is rigged a 1-shot, so a dubious trade there. Got to keep that take alive when you're already down 1, but it was close.
All right, meanwhile, Flashland and Darth Vader on the side of DingNA on the bushes, just the bottom of the northern part of the hill here, seeing if they can pull the trigger and find a tank that is possibly a little too far out. Let's see what's going to happen. If Flashland moves up, he might be on the proxy spot at Synergy 3K. I'm not sure that's what he wants to do. Scoopra taking a little bit of damage, now being lit up in that T22. Vetro now being spotted, 438 going to him, 359 right back into Flashland. And the shot looked like coming out. Was that Veloxa just maybe missed that artillery shot? I'm not quite sure. We got to see later in the statistics. And now DingNA, after a really good pickup, now they've lost Papa Dijon, and things are starting to slow down for him. Rock's taking 453 there. Now he's starting to do the damage back into Flashland. Flashland's got to be careful. He's bouncing so many shots at that E5. That was like 5 shots in a row that did not penetrate Flashland.
Oh.
And now finally they are. Makos, though, taking a lot of damage, and game is rigged. Going to finish him off there. A nice pickup from those members of Ding. And now 07, 4 tanks on their side against the 6 for DingNA. Doesn't matter if game is rigged, is that 1 shot or not. He is still contributing beautifully over there on the side of the lighthouse.
Little bit of a failure there from 07. Sorry, not a little bit, giving way too much time. Was that an ammo rack?
Wow, he just went from a lot of health to none, so I'm sure that's exactly what happened, Master Putin.
His turret is certainly off the tank, so we're going to go ahead and call that an ammo rack.
That was an ammo rack for sure, yeah.
At what probably could not be a worse time for 07. What momentum they may have been able to swing
Is
back
now
in their
just
favor
gone.
is now gone, but realistically it was gone as soon as it's delayed long enough trying to take out Flashland's E5 for Putin to slide into the A4 position and really back up everything. But game is rigged going down to Warbander. Finally getting that pick. And Rock's taking quite a bit of fire from Scooper as Scooper shops for that final shot. He does not connect, and Rocks will dance away just for a little bit longer and try and crank out another clip. Warbander getting another shot in from Scooper. A lot of positional play coming out of him. And 07 looking like they may be attempting to slow this down enough to win by time alone.
All right, we'll see if that's going to be enough to face off against DingNA right now.
It won't.
4 tanks.
It won't. It's their best option, but it won't.
All right, Rox being spotted now, taking 328 in that 50-51. He has 4 shots. He only gets 1 off onto Putin, and it doesn't even connect there. So now just 2 tanks alive. Warbander is going to be spotted out by Putin, who's looking for that E5 scooper come to join him. Darth Vader now going up on top of the hill to take down this 907. Warbander taking 1 shot there. 330 going to him. Vetro taking 388. He does a little bit back to Darth Vader, but David, you're absolutely right. It is not going to be enough here. Both these tanks will be going down within the next 3 minutes. And not even that, probably within the next 20 seconds here. Master Putin finishing off Warbander right there, leaving just Vetro and Darth Vader, who are going head-to-head right now. Vetro just not on the winning end of that battle. Darth Vader with his next shot should be able to finish off this 907, unless it bounces. It does. That's exactly what it does. It bounces. Vetro is going to be able to stay alive for a little bit longer, possibly letting Velox get this kill. No, Scooper comes in, and that's going to be WGLNA tying it up 2-2 against 07 here in our second match of the night. Dave, one thing we haven't really talked about between both these teams is the importance that this game, as far as points, has onto the playoffs. So, to your understanding, as both of these teams stand, is critical importance for any of them, or is this just kind of that same aquatic M60s of just getting the points is good, they're all guaranteed in the finals or the playoffs?
Well, certainly, I believe they are already guaranteed, and yes, 07 is already guaranteed to get in.
Okay,
but they need to win in order to get a higher seed than AM60s. Otherwise, they will be 8th overall.
Oh.
Depends on if they even care about that. I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
But
so it's not of critical importance.
Not critical.
To them,
Good.
But you do want to keep that fear, right? You don't want to let that happen. Let's go ahead and get into stats
check it
for
out.
now. We'll talk about a little bit more about the strategy. Putin with about 3,900 in his bat chat, 2,700 out of Game is Rigged, 1,900 out of Darth Vader, 1,800 out of Scupra, and 13 for both Loxa and Flashland. Papa D just getting ruined.
Yeah.
And over here for 07, about 2,900 for Vetro, 2,600 for Warbander, 1,800 flat for Synergy 3K for all of us that like nice, clean numbers. That is so satisfying.
And a 0, too.
That's just rude.
Well, that's a clean number.
That's just rude.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Clearly, you're not ready to read out the stats.
You was that the test that I just failed? Next time. I'll work on it for the playoffs.
Point him out. So that was a strategic success with the artillery right off the bat.
Okay.
Hold on. Just gloss over this. M40, M43. Veloxa, 1252, 4 shots, 1 hit, 1 pen, 2 splash.
Okay.
Not as big of an impact overall
As the other 3.
as previous games.
Right.
But the psychological impact. You see how aggressive 07 played because they were afraid of getting artied while they camped.
I was going to say, they're like going right up the hill.
So that is why offensively, it's on this map, it's not necessarily a bad pick.
It makes the opponent play to a certain strategy that
if
you're
your arty is good.
capitalize on.
If your arty is good, because say they brought it the first game
and nothing
and
happened.
it didn't connect that much.
Sure.
If he had connected it for about 1,100 in the first game, I don't think 07 would have changed up. They would have been like, cool, whatever, no big deal. But he did, and that's the big thing. He's got to hit a disturbing amount that's going to put the fear in people and make them play crazy next. But I think 07 could go back and look at that, figure out a way of solving it in the future. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
So a good strategy right now, working out definitely against 07 as WGLNA is now tied up 2-2 as we're moving on to Muravanka. Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
07 with 2 E5s, a 140, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU-251. Ding with 2 E5s, a Bat Chat, an STB, 2 T22s, and an AMX-1390. So yeah, just that kind of gray area of it could be good, it might not be, is generally
Really comes down to
why we always avoided it on our team, aside from the times we could work it out where it was worth it.
Okay.
When it was beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, I love just the idea of, you know, it's an aspect that I don't think about a lot of a team, bringing a tank that causes fear. Oh, what are you seeing?
Very interesting lineups. Both teams going directly into the east, or should I say initial movements. Foster going for a deep scout, paid out in the last game. He does see game is rigged, and he's going to tuck behind that building. He now sees Veloxa, Papa, Dijon, and Putin, which puts his team in a much better position to handle this. Otherwise, that could have popped out of nowhere. And Foster, while he is at risk, is going to rely on the rest of his team to make it worth it.
There it is, 295. They're going to Papa Dijon. Foster taking 840. He's got to get out of there, or he will be going down very quickly. Let's see if he can make it to the safety of the village. One shot going in. Shots. Look at that. Look at the village just save him. The village is like, come to us, Foster. We'll keep you. No, oh, no. Never mind, Flashland.
Speaking a little too soon.
Take it down,
That caster
Foster.
curse.
I'm so sorry.
I was sitting there shrugging like,
so
I don't know if you
sorry.
can call the village safety. I mean,
David, why did you stop me?
the village is as mean
Why
as it
did
is
you
nice.
stop me?
Who knows?
Oh,
You're
man.
driving around there, you don't know what angle you're about to give somebody. Just like when they drive in there, you don't know what angle to fire at them at. So, unfortunately, those E5s were elevated positions. So they got the best angles of all, but 07's going to try and compensate by swinging hard lefts, picking off maybe Scooper with a little bit more aggressive movement. And they're going to put on cap pressure and try and defend. But right now, WGLNA has an advantage of tank, a little bit down on hit points, but positionally, WGLNA is looking real nice. If Vetro can slide in there and take out Scoopera, 07 might be in business.
All right, let's see if they can take it down. Vetro going in for that STB1. He's going even harder. He's now finally turning his turret to it. Meanwhile, Flashland and Darth Vader for the side of WGLNA coming out over the top. They find rocks. Look at that focus fire coming out from both of those E5s, dropping rocks in that 50-51 down to 659 points of damage. Another shot going into him. One more. He'll be going down. He finds Scoopra right before Flashland takes him down. Man, those shots must have been in the air at the same exact time. 07 now giving up on the cap pressure. They're just going for a fight. It is now 5 tanks on the side of 07 against 6 for WGLNA. HP in favor for WGLNA. Tanks in favor for WGLNA. Let's see what 07 can do to come back and claw their way from this one. 455 going Darth Vader on top of the hill. Synergy 3K has to be careful. In that T-22, he is still spotted. Mako's doing his best to try something, but here comes Master Putin and Veloxa. 2 autoloaders going to start flanking here. And there it is, 1 shot going to Vetro for 428. Here comes the second shot. There's 3 shots into Vetro. Makos does find Darth Vader, making the tanks even 5-5, but the HP still in favor of WGLNA, and game is rigged, taking off, finishing off that 140. Driven by Vetro there. Makos finds Veloxa. Oh, back and forth the battle is going. 07 staying in this as long as they possibly can against WGLNA. Let's see if they can continue, as Commodore is 1 more shot away from going down. He does 398 against Game is Rigged. Game is Rigged actually bouncing off of him in that E5. Man, when it comes down to this, every single bounce counts. Warbender bouncing one in his E5 and doing damage to Papa Dijon. Master Putin is out of the battle. He is still 3/4 about done with the reload, and once he is, we'll see what happens here. But WGLNA continuing to do a good job trading those shots back and forth. Papa Dijon bouncing ton right there. Game is rigged, finishing off Warbender. It is now 3 tanks for 07 against the 4 for WGLNA, but now Master Putin has his shots up in the back chat, and this might be it for 07. 410 going to Synergy, but Makos and Synergy bullying Master Putin back. Master Putin bouncing a shot onto Makos, and Makos finishes off that bat chat. Meanwhile, a tank going down for 07. It is now across the battle. Both these teams fighting hilltop to hilltop. Synergy 3K and Makos for 07 against Flashland, Papa Dijon, and game is rigged for WGLNA. David, do you think 07 can do it? Do you think that they can find the picks?
It's going to be real difficult. Game is rigged, is having the farm of his life so far, but he is relatively within a 1-shot territory. Makos, if he gets a good pick here on Papa Dijon, they might be in business.
There it is, coming on the top. He does. He turns around and he finds the shot. The T-22 taking down the T-22, and the shot coming out from Game is Rigged is actually missing. So Flashland is going to start pushing over. He's looking for Synergy 3K. He wants the 1-shot. Synergy 3K using the hill to his advantage to try to stay alive as long as possible. He popped up the top and he takes down Game is Rigged. Now all of a sudden it's a 2v1. 07 has turned this around and they will take off WGLNA. What an amazing comeback from 07. What in the heck just happened there? Well done, 07, picking up a victory here onto Muravanka. Whoa!
The plays.
Whoa!
The plays. That was amazing.
Hold on.
That was amazing.
Oh, man. Woo!
I love that.
That was fantastic.
Let's do that again. Let's go to stats.
Let's just go to stats. That was fantastic. Well done, everybody.
So a heroic effort from 07, bringing it back to take the lead.
This is why you never give up.
Exactly. Never give up. Almost the Top Gun out of Makos. We were talking about unsung heroes. Makos made the list. And here we go. 37-20 out of Makos with 5 kills. Congratulations, sir. Hats off to you. 32-61 out of Synergy 3K.
What is this, public
and
matches?
One of the most clutch exchanges I've ever seen. Backing up
Popping
to
on
get
the top.
that shot on Game is Rigged.
Yeah.
I was watching it happen, and I was just thinking, Wow. It's such a great idea. He's going to have the right angle. The terrain is in his favor. 2,400 out of Camador, 1,600 out of Vetro, making up for a lot of the other misplays here. Flashland with 40-63.
So
amazing,
damage.
amazing gameplay. Game is rigged with 21-17. I really thought he was going to get more than that. 2039 out of Darth Vader, 2,000 out of Putin, and 1,300 out of Papa Dijon.
Man, we all know what Yud is saying right now in chat, but that was such a fantastic, amazing battle. If 07 wins the next battle, they are locked into the playoffs, and Ding is out. That is what right now is on the line if 07 picks up this victory. And if Ding needs this, they need this to stay in the playoffs, to get into the playoffs. Is that correct? That's what this...
I'm not sure. I'm trying to do mental math here. We'll come back to it because we got another battle
That's
going on.
right, ladies and gentlemen. 07, let's see if they make it 4-2 against Ding, or can Ding come back and tie it up? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
07 with an E5, 2140 is a T22, a TVP, an E3, and an RU251. Ding with a 260, a Batchat, an STB, two T22s, a TVP, and an M43 again.
All right, we'll see if they can make it work here. Remember Ivanka. Velox again is driving it, so that should be the fear into 07. We'll see if it affects him though, because after that amazing battle, I mean, I'm just assuming team morale on 07 is just high. I could just imagine all of them just screaming.
Absolutely. I mean, if anything swings positive morale in your favor, it's that. Unless they were exasperated with a lot of other things going on. And then it's more just like, well, we almost lost that one if it weren't for these guys.
Sure.
Right? It just depends. Expectation of victory can skew even the most amazing games into something that is bad for morale.
Don't ruin it, guys. That was
it's
amazing.
Crazy. You could also turn that message around and be like, hey, even when they get 2 tanks, we can still pull it out. Right, guys? All right. Let's just play. So it depends. It totally depends on who controls the overall message of the team. So you got to keep the atmosphere from getting toxic.
All right now, Flashland and Makehouse being spotted out both. One for 07, one for DingNA. When I say DingNA like that, I think of DNA a lot. I don't know if you've picked up on this, but I'm now just realizing that. So Ding starting to push some cap pressure on. Flashland, the 260, starting off over there on the west. Let's see if that's enough to kind of get 07 positions that Ding wants. Now, usually, I would think with with an artillery, you kind of want to slow play it, right? You want to allow him to get as much of his shots off as he possibly can. But right now, DingNA is starting to put the pressure on. Fosta taking 774 points in that RU251. Doing a little bit of spotting there. It looks like he might be able to get out to safety. We'll see if he can continue to provide that nice information for the rest of his team here. A little bit of lightning in the distance to show the intensity right now between both of these teams. Flashland actually getting off the cap right there. Not sure why. Meanwhile, game is rigged, taking down Fosta. So that is a tank already falling for 07. Meanwhile, Makos and Campbell are being sent over to take down Flashland. That's exactly why he was backing off. He knew a couple of the tanks were coming for him. Let's see if they can take him out. Makos looking up, taking a shot actually from Darth Vader there. And Darth Vader bouncing one on that STB-1. Let's see now what comes across this. Darth Vader getting lit up 11-13-79 in that STB-1. Veloxa hitting that shot for 585 onto Camador. But Darth Vader having to be careful there. Flashland starting to put the cap pressure back on, but I think he was just going up to take that shot onto Makos. And we'll see now as the rest of DingNA starting to collapse on that western cap, what 07 can do.
Right now, DingNA trying to draw 07 to a situation 07 has been in before. This was essentially their tiebreaker against Noble all over again. So let's see if they've cooked up another response for this.
Camador taking a shot there, dropping him just above half health in that E5. He's got to be careful. This is actually, I really am enjoying, again, watching the artillery here on this map, because when the team as 07 is going to attack this cap, it's usually kind of standoffish against the hill. But David, looking at the positions of the hill that they're in, maybe we can talk about this later, as Master Putin taking a little bit of damage there. Is that from Synergy 3K in the D5? But now he's doing a lot back. 2 shots into Synergy 3K, and now another one from Papa Dijon, actually bouncing there in that E3. Excuse me, Synergy is driving the E3, not the E5. Master Putin now getting focused down from 07. A lot of damage there going into that Batchat. He is now clipping on the reload. 40 seconds on the clock for DingNA, applying that cap pressure. Nice reset coming out there for 07. And the back and forth here, both teams just kind of whittling each other down back and forth until something is going to cause the trigger to be pulled. What is it going to be? Is it going to be a tank going down? Campbell has to be careful. He is 1, maybe 2 shots away. And that E5 Warbanner takes down Scupra, so that is a tank falling for DNA. And now a lot of damage going to Game is Rigged and Flash on 1165. And Vetro coming over the top in that 140, take it down. Game is Rigged. It's now surrounding Papa DeJean. There is nowhere that guy can go, but he can take out tanks before he goes down. Papa take it down, Mako's. Master Putin in the bat chat might be able to find Warbander. 1 more shot away. Vetro takes down Papa DeJean. Warbander getting around the corner from that. Oh, bouncing 2 from Master Putin, surviving in the 140. And now Master Putin on a huge reload. Rux just barely dodging a shot there from Velox as Synergy 3K takes down Darth Vader in that STB1. And just like that, all over the map, 07 winning battle after battle, fight after fight. Commodore takes down Flashland, leaving just Master Putin and Velox alive. And it looks like 07 is going to pick up now their 4th victory here on Demuravanka against DNA.
Pretty much Putin's just going to try to drive away here, but we are definitely looking at a 4-2 situation after this game. That means means that 07 will have locked up their playoff bid right here in this game.
Well done, 07. Congratulations to you, everyone. Cheer for 07 in chat. Hooray! 07 locking up their playoff spot. Well done and well deserved. Again, watching this team throughout the season, and just that not just the fluctuation, but right at the end, how they've just turned it on as a team, playing so well together. Vetro taking out Master Putin right there, and 07 have picked up their 4th victory. So the reason is because a tiebreaker would have locked him up, so they just needed 4.
I believe they needed 1 point to guarantee that Ding was short.
Okay.
So my original math was actually based off something where I think I missed a victory for them.
Oh.
So I had them all 3 points shorter than where they were supposed to be.
Wow.
So
all right, there you go. Congratulations, 07. You've locked yourselves into playoffs. Well done indeed. So one thing about that before we kind of go into stats, as we now have more time because 07 just called a timeout here. The artillery over on the western cap, there's kind of those angles on the hill because it's got that little bit of a hill going into the western cap on one of the sides there. The artillery shots into the tanks that are kind of behind that, is that hill tall enough to block them, or can they still get those shots pretty easily?
On the western side?
Yeah.
It's tall enough to block, which is why I don't like it as much on this map.
Okay.
It does have angles more in the E3 position, but 07 knew that, so they just backed off. And they picked their fights in the right places, and they took them. And they did take a lot of fire from the bat shot, but it was a manageable amount.
All right. Well done for 07. Now taking a timeout. Obviously, they're just 1 more victory away from closing off the 2nd match of our night. And again, they've locked themselves in the playoffs, so we will be seeing them on Thursday for the playoffs there, where again Quinn will be. So a reminder to use that hashtag mailbag at WGLNA to ask us your questions, and we will answer them here live on the show. David, does that mean that DNA is out? There's no way.
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I'm double checking everything right now before I give.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, please do your job and do it well here. I can say it. I can just yeah, Diggins out, and then you can come back and correct me. Because that's what we do. That's just kind of the team dynamic we got going on here. Again, a reminder just for you guys, the Pro Bowl that is going to be happening on February 16th. Go over to fantasywgl.com to vote on the 4 remaining pro players that will be playing, and David has now got it.
Okay, so yeah, in this spreadsheet where I was keeping track of their overall points before, I had missed a full game. I had put it in the wrong cell. It was actually the team right next to it.
Okay.
So what it comes down to is it came in with 07 at 14 points and Ding with 11 points.
Okay.
So if Ding had then won for a full 3 points, then
they'd be tied up.
They would be tied up, and Ding would have beaten 07 now, so then they would get to the playoffs.
Gotcha.
So this was a critical match,
this is a
but
critical game.
As long as it went to a tiebreaker at all, all 07 needed was a single point. And they just locked it up right there because 4 games, even if they dropped the rest,
they got their point.
That's it.
Woo!
That's all for 07.
That's got to be
getting into the playoffs.
That's got to be feeling good for them right now. Ding is out of the playoffs, so again,
and anybody who is not in the playoffs is in relegation territory.
Because we're cutting teams down.
Yes, and I believe there are also teams that will be in the playoff section that will be in relegation territory as well.
Oh wow! Oh wow! This is going to be intense. This is going to be an intense playoffs.
So if I remember correctly, 7th place plays a relegation match.
Okay.
Which means they have a chance to stay.
Okay.
And 8th place doesn't. I think 8th place is out anyways.
Wow.
I think.
All right. So, I mean, even if they make it to the playoffs, the teams aren't even out of the woods yet.
We didn't go to stats, did we?
No. So we get to do a double statter.
We're going to have to do a double stats.
We're going to do a
this game.
double statter, ladies
Apologies
and gentlemen,
for that.
out of this next game. But the timeout is done. I'm excited to see if 07 kind of, maybe they just use that to celebrate, right? They locked up their point. Everyone's like, hey, and they celebrate together. They're cheering for one another,
possible.
patting each other on the back. But we are now done from the break, getting into the next battle on the Muravanka. Let's see if 07 can pick up their 5th and final victory here, or can WGLNA keep it alive? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
07 with 2 E5s, a 142 T22s, a TVP, and an RU251. Ding with 2 E5s, a Batchat, an STB, 2 T22s, and an AMX 1390.
All right, 07. Let's see what their celebratory play is against WGLNA. Or maybe WGLNA is now just filled with rage. And they're going to come back.
I doubt 07 is celebrating right now. They've still got at least 1 game to play, so
That's true.
eyes on the prize.
All right, that's true. See, David, this is good. This is why you know these players, and your experience comes in handy. Yeah. My experience in this game is playing with you. So we have that going on.
07 flexing into the east side again. Same initial lineups that they did last time. Same initial positions, movements, and WGLNA in the exact same boat. So could be looking at a repeat of the first match on Muravanka.
All right. Fosta going in for that scout. Actually, not the same place.
Not the same, because Fosta's scouting someplace else. You are right. My mistake.
Different scout going out for Fosta, not as aggressive. He's actually going to start putting some cap pressure on over in the north. So starting to draw WGLNA to them.
I wonder if this works so well that Ding just flexes west right across all of these tanks. That would be a crazy situation, but it looks like Ding is going to do this with more discipline. They are checking the forest, and so far they've made no contact. So they are shorting a little bit further west, but Putin is not sold on this 1 tank cap pressure right now, and he's taking his time to make sure that this is a safe zone, because if it isn't, it is guaranteed death for everybody that steps into it. Papa Dijon's going to do the spotting. He is spotted, and he gets Makos back in return. So far, no shots exchanged between these 2 teams in the east.
He's holding out there. There it is. 1 shot there going into Fosta. Actually, Fosta taking some damage on the cap. A lot of damage. He has to back off in that RU251. He's spotted out there. Scooper doing a good job at getting the vision on him, allowing a lot of the members there from Ding to focus onto him. Now that he's out, he's just got to try to stay alive as long as possible. So good amount of damage are going into Fosta. A little bit going on to Papa Dijon, but not nearly as much as that RU251. And now 07 putting more members here onto cap, going for a cap fast. They've got 3 members on, dropping the cap to 30 seconds. Let's see if they keep him there. Nope, they're just going to actually drive on the way through. Forget what I said. They're looking for some tanks. Darth Vader up on top of the hill, taking the shot there onto Warbanner. 374 going into him. But they're going to continue to push. 07 is not swayed by this whatsoever. Makos finding Scooper. 2 shots, 3 shots going out against that STB-1. Not a single one hitting. Darth Vader, though, finally taking a shot there from Rocks. But the rest of WGLNA have now made it. Master Putin is here, and he is ready to fight. He's got 3 shots in that batch. Had a couple landing on a Synergy 3K. There's another one. The battle over on the west has begun. Papa Dijon takes down Rocks, and that is the first tank there falling for 07. Where did 07's health go? They're almost 5,000 points down. Now more than 5,000 points down on HP against WGLNA. WGLNA doing a great job whittling down them as just a few minutes have gone by. Cambador 1 more shot away. He'll be going down that E5. They're continuing to try cap pressure, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. WGLNA has 7 members, all well over half health and HP, and this should be their game in the bag. WGLNA keeping it alive here, trying to come back against 07 4-2. Looks like this is going to be their 3rd victory here. Defense on Muravanka. Makos bouncing a shot. Bouncing a lot of shots there. There's that effective armor in that T22. He is just staying alive. Finally, Papa Dijon is going to finish him off. Darth Vader quickly takes down Warbander. A nice double kill coming out for WGLNA right there. Leaving just Metro and Synergy 3K to be going down soon.
Not too long now. Going into the 8th battle of this set, potentially into a tiebreaker. But 07 gets another chance at defense before he gets to that point, and Ding has got to cook up something completely new if they want to break that.
Yeah, but the last time you got very close to both these teams, but Ding picking up their now 3rd victory against 07 here onto Muravanka. David, I'm guessing the stats are going to be really good for WGLNA. and maybe not so good for 07.
Let's go. We got 2 to get done, so let's get it done
Oh yeah,
quick.
it's double statter, guys.
So in the game that you just saw, Vetro with 2,200, 1,800 out of Synergy, not even 1,000 out of Makos, and 4 people with zeros. For Ding, a significantly better game, 3,600 out of Scoopra, 2,300 out of Papa D, 2,000 out of Darth Vader, 2,000 out of Flashland, 1,500 out of Putin, 1,300 out of Game is Rigged. So back to the game before that. The one that took 07 to a 4-win lead. 3,200 out of Vetro, 2,200 out of Warbandor, 2,000 out of Rox, 1,800 out of Synergy 3K, 1,400 out of Commodore.
Wow.
And for Ding in that match, almost 4,000 out of Putin.
Wow.
And
Well done,
everybody
Putin.
else below 1,500.
So Putin
The
kinda-
carry is real.
Putin taking all those shots for himself, just trying to pad those fantasy points against the last stage, take advantage of fantasy. So guys, I hope the teams are treating you well here. I know in chat you guys are always very vocal about that. So hopefully everyone's just having a great night. This is the night that everyone wins at fantasy. That's what everyone is a winner in fantasy tonight. David just coming
It's not
in.
true.
David just coming in with the reality. It's not true at all.
Two
that's just
people.
funny to try to encourage.
2 people win trips to Vegas.
Yes, and so we already have one has won.
2.
So now this is kind of the deciding factor for the final person to make it out to Vegas to the finals. And even if you don't win the trip, guys, just come out to the finals anyway. It's going to be an awesome time. I hope to see you guys there. I know David has just been talking about how awesome he's just looking forward to just hugging every single one of you with just a loving embrace. So you guys got to be there for that. Don't miss out on a Nagatron hug. Ladies and gentlemen, getting going to the next battle. 07 has one more shot. Well, not one more shot, but this could be the chance that they pick up their 5th victory. Let's see if Ding can come back and tie it up. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
I'll be giving out hugs and talking about why I like artillery on Himmelsdorf. 07 with an E5,
Don't
2-140 is a T22, a TVP, an E3, an RU-251, Ding with a 260, a Bat Shat, an STB, 2 T22s, an M46, Patton, and a Skoda D50.
Bringing that Skoda. I always do enjoy when that tank plays. Patton as well. Again, Ding loving those 2 tanks. Bring them definitely, in my opinion, a lot more than we've seen other teams bring them right now. Scoopra and Papa John going straight through the village here, right down the 5-6 line into 07. Let's see where their kind of final positions will end up starting to split off here. Scoopra going a little bit west. Papa John continuing that push. And now Ding and A looks like they're just kind of splitting up here, sending the SB1 way out there in the B1 area. David, what do you think he's going to be doing up there?
STB?
Yeah.
So he's just getting a 1-line control, which is pretty standard position that we see a lot of the time. He can just fire down in the 1 line and try and repel that T22 if the T22 pokes to try and fire on Flashland's 260.
All right. Darth Vader. Hey, he was there when they were last on offense. A lot of damage.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the right angle. These buildings are going to be getting in the way, but this is what he's going for, and Makos is trying to go for that. Pretty simple.
All right, cap pressure being applied right now from Ding and A Flashland. Starting to put that on there, that Object 260. Let's see what 07 can do to start responding. Now, bringing that E3 again, bringing that tank destroyer. David, talk to me a little about the E3. I don't think we've ever kind of really focused on this tank particularly.
It is an absolute monster from the front.
Okay.
Does quite a bit of alpha damage. It's got a decent... it's a pretty long reload overall. And it's just nearly impossible to penetrate from the front.
Just a beast from the front.
Now, I'm using that very loosely. You can penetrate this tank from the front. It's just nowhere near reliable, and it's extremely frustrating. In fact, if I see this thing facing me in a public match, most of the time I just drive someplace else.
Yeah,
it's like,
isn't
well,
worth
I
it.
could try and toe-to-toe with this guy, but who knows? I'm
All
out.
right, now Commodore going hard for Flashland, coming down with a ram. Vetro falling him very quickly, 11-13 going at him, and the shots from Ding and A just flying right by Vetro and Commodore. They have got him dead to rights. Makos taken down for that final kill. Flashland falling, and that is a 260 now gone for Ding and A. Darth Vader taking 11-28 in that STB1, but Fasta on the side of 07 will be going down. Master Putin going head-to-head against him. Rox finishing off Darth Vader. 2 takes fallen for Ding and A. 07 just losing a scout. A beautiful trade for 07, and they are up 1,400 points. 15 now, 1,400 points of HP here. Essentially, 3K and Vetro taking some damage there from Ding and A, but man, being those 2 tanks down, those 2 tier 10s, gonna be a pretty big uphill climb from Ding and A to start coming back from this one as they are on offense. 07 just needs to kill time and kill tanks to pick up his 5th and final victory of our second match of the night.
Warbandor trying to get shots in here all the way through all this destructible debris in town. Not finding that angle. Probably going to need to short here relatively soon, but 07 holding the line on this ridge, no big deal. That STB going down by Darth Vader, or Darth Vader's STB going down was a very big win for 07. They now own the entire west side of the map. A little bit of containment issues from Game is Rigged's Skoda, but he does have rocks blocking him out with 2 more additional shots in his TVP, so a very imbalanced fight there for Game is Rigged, unless he is able to get in some shots and drive away. But Veloxa and Kamidor exchanging quite a bit of shots, and Kamidor taking down Veloxa's patent. Scooper trying to try and capitalize on this, getting caught in between Vetro and Kamidor as Kamidor takes 1 shot.
Master Putin coming in there for the cleanup, though. Gonna pop right around the T-22, looks at Kamidor, actually takes his, no, holds that shot and takes 806 himself. Makos takes down Papa Dejan. There are just 3 members for WGLNA, and 07 is just gonna finish this one off quickly. Vetro finds Master Putin, Makos finds Scupra, just like that, back-to-back kills. 07 has only lost 1 tank. WGLNA just has Game is Rigged alive. And that's Skoda T50, who has 3 shots, 2 going into rocks for 566. He's looking for that final one. Not sure he's going to be able to find it as the rest of 07 is coming in to save their friend. 935, so ram damage to final ram. No, Makos not getting enough ram, but Makos is going to get enough shots in to finish off that final tank. 07 picking up their 5th victory here against WGLNA. Congratulations to them for locking in their position into the playoffs. And we can't wait to see them on Thursday. Now, one of the things before we kind of get into stats real quickly that I like to see is, fine. Okay, let's get into stats. Let's go to stats.
Before we get into stats, come on now. Papa Dijon 2200 out of his T22, 1600 a Game is Rigged. Everybody else below that. For 07 Vetro bringing it home with 4,000 damage. Makos 2,804 kills. Kamidor 2,601 kills. 1,600 out of Synergy. And everybody else in the fight, but not putting up the same kind of numbers. Rock spent most of his time there babysitting the other the Skoda, so that's why he doesn't get as much damage in TVP.
Gotcha.
So can't always just look at these numbers and then say somebody had a good game
that's a
or
good
a bad
person,
game.
yeah,
Sometimes
sure.
just by not getting any damage and guaranteeing somebody else didn't get
They
damage,
did a great job.
is a great game.
Well, this is the question of the unsung heroes. Again, it's a team game. Every single team matters. But one thing I just wanted to kind of praise 07 for at the end there was the tank for WGLNA that was kind of applying the cap pressure over in the west. I think it was Vetro and Kamidor just barreling over the top of the hill, not even caring about the shots they were going to take from the village, finishing off that tank, and then continuing that momentum to go to the other side, which then blocked the shots that the enemy had in the first place. It was fantastic. It was aggressive, and it definitely started that snowball for them winning the game.
So, couple things. One, we didn't get to it with E3. Its average damage is about 750. So if you're wondering what like good alpha is,
okay.
I usually give it a rule of thumb of about double what a normal alpha shot is.
Okay.
I'd say it's about 300 to 400, depending for mediums and whatnot.
So
Whatever.
750
Let's
come out
not get
TD.
into all the numbers. And that match right there with a full 3 points means that if my math is still to be trusted, 07
It is.
now takes 7th place away from AM60. AM60 is in 8th because they're tied for points at 17, but 07 beat AM60 when they played.
Gotcha. So that's the reason why they're ahead now. Well, then again, congratulations, 07, for making it to playoffs. Can't wait to see you on Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our second match done. Our third match is coming right up. Don't go anywhere.